I have with me on the line Tunde Okufi, who's a business development expert. He's been in the financial technology industry for a while, at least since I knew him. Tunde Okufi, what's up, man?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good, Sanjay. It's good to see you again.
Yes, it's been a long time. What's this hair thing we're doing? I understand the beers, but
Man,
is
it's
it
work from
lockdown?
home. Work from home.
And no
It's work from
wonder.
home and lockdown.
You see, solid, solid. So today, let's go into the conversations. Cheaper Cash raises $30 million in Series B fundraising. For people who do not know Cheaper Cash, it was founded in 2018 by Sergoji and Majid Mojalid. I've been actually rehearsing the names, but it still doesn't roll over your tongue. The company currently operating in Ghana, Uganda, Nigeria, Tanzania, Rwanda, South Africa, and Kenya. $30 million Series B. Tune, this money is getting bigger and bigger, and it's just becoming comfortable for us to pronounce it now. Before it used to be the company raised $10,000 or $30,000, and we all celebrate. Now it's just entering 30 million anyhow, and we're just like, okay, it's a normal day. I mean, what are your thoughts? Are super apps the way to go for the African fintech space? And will we see more fintechs in Nigeria adopting this strategy? I mean, what are your thoughts on the longevity of super apps? Has anyone worked to even begin with?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at if using the term super app, I guess probably is just indicative of more around the mode, the channel of delivery.
Okay, yeah.
As we know, and so it's not really the company is not built. The company is not an app, but its mode of interaction, delivery, and service delivery is the
Is
app,
it app?
right? So
Yes,
you
yes.
can call it a super app, right? Now to the question as to their viability and long-term longevity, yes, there have been many. So I'd like to categorize them under the wider umbrella, the more apt umbrella. They're a payments company, or more specifically a fintech,
Mm.
and fintech, especially fintech startups, have been proven to be quite viable, to be honest. Vast majority of funds, of VC funds, such as venture capital funds, coming into the continent, to the financial services sector, over 90% of that goes to fintech, right?
Mm.
And Africa is beginning to get more and more of that share. And as any entrepreneur would know, anyone who's started a company would know. I mean, funds and finance is the lifeblood of any company. So
Mm.
if the funds are available and you can keep raising capital because you have people who believe in your story and believe in the journey, then you're there for the long run. I mean, just look at companies that we celebrate today, like Amazon. Amazon was didn't turn a profit for the first decade,
Yeah,
right?
but now
So
it's a
the dynamic,
beast.
exactly, the dynamic for success these days has sort of shifted away slightly from cash-rich companies, in terms of companies that are profitable right away, generate a lot of cash to valuation, right? So you need to have a story that
Mm.
people believe in. You need to have a customer base that buys into that, and you need to be able to show growth over a period of time, and growth especially in customer acquisition and engagement. And
Let
if
me
you
let
get
me let
funding
me
to
let me
go,
quickly hold you on growth.
right,
We
yeah,
have a story here on Carbon and Carbon transforming
yeah,
into a microfinance bank. So Carbon, we do know Carbon came out with a conversation around loans. They didn't start as Carbon. Well, I can't remember the first name. It evolved into Carbon. What was the name again? I can't remember, but it was
uh,
predominantly one of the first loan apps in the market. And I remember hearing the CEO. It was in the gym changing room, and he was talking about it. And he wasn't talking to me. I was just listening, and I was like, ah. He was talking about the AI is able to check you, do some algorithms and give you loans real time. And I was like, hmm. And now we're seeing them transform into a microfinance bank. Now, does Carbon becoming a microfinance bank mean deposits will now be insured by the NDIC? That's one of the thoughts I'm beginning to have, because, of course, if you're going to put deposits in it, I mean, is it now insured?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, which is part of why they're getting a microfinance license, which gives them, in essence, it's a banking license.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, microfinance banks have, especially if it's a national microfinance bank, there's very little difference. I mean, one of the key things that they want, not to be too technical, but one of the things they can't do is, I mean, they can't represent themselves in clearing, so they still have to work with the commercial bank
Yeah,
for the
true.
purpose of clearing. But other than that, everything is absolutely
This gives
the
them
same.
that leeway
Uh,
to be able to do that, right?
Absolutely. So this is them acquiring a microfinance bank license is part of their pivot. In the past, like you mentioned, they've been. I also struggle with their previous name. I think they even did one more name change before they arrived at Carbon, right? And they
Yeah.
had been essentially in micro lending,
Mm-hmm.
entities. So their business model had been based on giving people loans.
Loans,
But
yeah.
even from those very early days, they spoke about also being able to receive deposits.
Mm.
Now they couldn't do that under their previous licensing, so they've now acquired a microfinance license that will allow them receive deposits, and of course consumer deposits will be guaranteed to the tune that the regulation permits.
Do you think that more fintechs should acquire conventional licenses? Because the whole discussion around fintechs is disruption. That's the whole thing. They're,
Mm.
they're coming to disrupt the space. Show us the way it could be done. But now that we're seeing more players go into proper regulation, and it looks like it makes people more comfortable. Do you think more players should follow the route?
Well, it comes down to what your strategy is. I mean, so it's difficult to dictate to people, but clearly there is a blurring of the lines.
Mm,
So not just fintechs. You look at your commercial banks, your traditional financial service providers, also spinning off, going into whole co-structures and then creating entities that allow them play in the financial technology space. So as you see, and there are a number of examples of that. Banks spinning off digital commercial banks, conventional commercial banks, spinning off digital arms or digital banks to sort of also respond to, fintech stepping into their space. So
mm,
naturally, as commercial banks do that, you see more and more fintechs as well. Like I said, a blurring of the lines, where
sure.
ultimately, the guy who owns the customer experience and can give the best customer experience wins out at the end of the day.
Solid. Today, please stay with us. City of Lagos, we're going on a short break to hear from our sponsors, VBank, and we'll be right back.
Free banking, safe and secure, much better than what you had before. Great service, you feel withdraw, no charges. So what are you waiting for? Join the VBank family. Download the app, it's so easy. Save money and make interest. If you need more, you can invest. Everything in one app. Make you go get them sharp sharp. For simpler and faster banking, V is top of the ranking. Oh yeah, if you need another way to manage your account today, that way. If you need another way to manage your account today, VBank now the better way. VBank now the better way.
Download the V app from the Google Play Store and the iOS Store. Do more with V.
Come and join the tribe, oh. Peace, vibe. Come and join the tribe, oh. Free banking, safe and secure, much better than what you had before. Great service, you feel withdraw, no charges. So what are you waiting for? Join the VBank family. Download the app, it's so easy. Save money and make interest. If you need more, you can invest. Everything in one app. Make you go get them sharp sharp. For simpler and faster banking, V is top of the ranking. Oh yeah, if you need another way to manage your account today, VBank now the better way. VBank now the better way. If you need another way to manage your account today, VBank now the better way. VBank now the better way.
Download the V app from the Google Play Store and the iOS Store. Do more with V.
All right, Sechi of Lagos. Yes, from our sponsors, VBank. And you know, the show is brought to you by Streamline Media on all social media platforms. You can go to Instagram, it's at Streamline Media NG. On Twitter is Streamline_NG. And of course, Facebook is just Streamline Media. So you basically can follow us through the entire week. All the conversations around the financial technology space. We're with business development expert Tunde Okufi, and we're going to be ending the show in a short bit. But first, let me ask you quickly, Tunde, in a minute about Binance. They're creating more Naira options. You know, they're one of the biggest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world. The users now will be able to transfer Naira from to anyone from their wallet using a phone number and email address. The wallet-to-wallet transfer is free for all Nigerian users. I want to ask the question, will this encourage the adoption of cryptocurrencies by everyday users?
Yeah, I mean, there is quite the value of any cryptocurrency exchange like Binance is in the termination points and the origination points, which is, you know, which stable currencies or fiat currencies like the Naira can you pass through the exchange and, you know, convert your cryptocurrencies to and from. There has been quite a huge amount of adoption of cryptocurrency in the country. What is lagging slightly behind is, shall I say, maybe is regulation and regulator buying. They're coming around, you know, ever so slightly. You see that there's been some laws or some new regulation around, you know, being able to register a cryptocurrency-based company on the NSC. So that's changing. We expect the central bank. The central bank has put out guidance around this as well. But at that time, it was essentially telling everyone to, approach with caution. But I expect that to change ever so slightly as well, and the popularity will grow.
All right. Thank you, Tunde Okufi, for being with us on the show. Really appreciate you. City of Lagos, thank you for being with us on the show. Also, this is Fintech Today, brought to you by Streamline Media. My name is Tunji Andrews. Have a great day.